in my mind, I was always afraid. My whole life I was afraid, but I had this fucking voice, this conscience that would always be battling me, saying, hey, you got to get up and do something. I didn't want to do shit. You know, I was just afraid, but that voice would force me to get up. And my dad, you know, I tried to beat him up, whatever, at 6, and I get my ass kicked. I was so aware of so much shit. I was so bright in that way. And to see your mom go through that shit as that young kid, and like I was going through it and she was going through it right beside me. Like when I got my ass beat, she got her ass beat. It's fucked up, man. Like you just can't, you know, people like to judge who you are, man. Why you cuss so much, man? My life wasn't fucking PG, motherfucker. Like, you know, you can't just turn who the fuck you are off. When you see your mom going through that kind of shit, and then I'm coming to her defense at 7 or 8 years old and she's getting her fucking ass beat by a 220-pound man, and I'm fucking some little kid. You know what kind of courage it takes to muster that up to go help her out and to see her fucked up like that? And the time she would cry and be bruised up and shit, it was a fucking nightmare. And then to hear her talk about it, like the part where my dad says, I brought this belt from Texas. This belt came all the way from Texas to whip your ass with. And it was like, what the, where am I at right now?
Listen to me, if you want to win at life, if you want to dominate, to succeed, to be the man who walks into a room and commands respect without even speaking, you need to understand something very simple. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your most dangerous enemy. It's either the engine that drives you forward at full speed or the anchor that drags you down into the depths of mediocrity. And let me tell you something most people don't want to admit. If your life sucks, if you're broke, if you're weak, if you're lost, it is your fault. I don't care what excuses you have. Your parents were poor, so what? You didn't have the right education, who cares? The world didn't give you a fair shot, boo-hoo. The truth is you are where you are because of how you think. And the day you realize that is the day you take back control. The weak-minded blame the world, the strong-minded take responsibility. And the moment you stop being a victim is the moment you start being a winner.
Studied my ass off and passed it. And I got in the Air Force and realized there was more things in front of me. I was afraid of the water, terrified of the water. And I learned how to swim, but what gets everybody in this training, in all special ops training, is the water confidence, where they try to pretty much drown your ass. You know, all of our lives we've been breathing. And they take that from you, and they want to see how comfortable you are underwater. And there's only 1% African Americans in special operations. And I didn't know anything about African, like a lot of them are negative buoyant, which I am, because of the bone density. I struggled. But 6 weeks into the program, there was about 25 guys left out of about 150. I was there, and I didn't go to sleep for 6 weeks of the program. And I wanted to quit so badly, but I quit everything in my life. I copied through school. I wanted to prove people wrong. And so here I am in this Air Force program, starting to get a little more confidence, but this water was kicking my ass. And 6 weeks into the program, the doctor gave me a blood test and realized I have sickle cell trait, not the anemia, but it still killed people. But so they pulled me out of training for a week. And when you go from being very uncomfortable in that water situation, and then now you're comfortable, and I'm sitting back watching the guys drown, 'cause I'm not part of the activities anymore for this week. I didn't want to get back in that damn water again.
Yeah. It's like fighting, right? People say lucky punch. There's no such thing as a lucky punch. It landed, and you threw it. That's a punch. Yeah. And that's a punch you've been training for. So I like what you said about it doesn't matter if it's true or not because it's empowering. I would argue that truth is empowerment. What is true? Well, for me, what is true is what allows me to feel most powerful. That's what's true to me.
Yeah.
When I look at scenarios or situations, I sit and say, well, option A makes me feel weak and helpless, and option B makes me feel powerful, so I believe B to be true.
Yeah, right.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And that's where my whole worldview comes from.
Would you get flack from that? People get upset with you saying that?
All the time.
Right.
But those are people who have a different version of objective reality, and their reality is not geared towards competitiveness like mine is. The primary objective of my thoughts and feelings and reality is to win.
Yeah.
The only reason my brain activates is to win. It's not to feel happy. It's not on some garbage, endless quest for what might be true. It's to win all of the time. And if you're going to be that way, you're going to be prepared to come up with certain thought patterns or certain recognitions of how the matrix operates, of how this simulation plays out, which are perhaps very unpopular with other people. but I want to win.
That's a mental trick. You have to rewire your brain. That's one of the things you have to rewire your brain to do. And the reason your brain needs to be rewired is because anyone who is watching this stream below the age of 30, your brain is already broken. And I'll tell you it's broken. I'll tell you why. Watch your friends when they're on TikTok. How long can they even focus on a video before they have to change? Half a second? All of your minds are broken. You can't even focus on anything anymore.
You're right.
You are constantly distracted to the point where you can't even appreciate the good things in your life. You're distracted. Your minds are broken. You need to rewire your mind and resist the slave programming.
How?
They have programmed. I'll tell you how. First thing you have to do is identify it. You have to identify what is happening to you. I use my mind to break the trap. What I do is I allow my enemy to manipulate me on purpose. And then I use my mind to break the trap and punish the perpetrators. I will sit on TikTok for a day and I'll just enjoy TikTok. And by the end of the day, I'll watch myself. How quickly I'm looking to be entertained, how little time I give a video, how fucked up I am. And then I'll blink and I'll cure my fucking brain. You must allow yourself to be manipulated and you must fix it.
Every time I'm in a bad situation, like, you know, I study it. And that's the only reason I do half the shit I do, is I'm studying this shit. Because I know that I never thought I was going to be writing books and trying to help people get better. But I was always trying to do it because I knew I sucked. And so when you know you're trying to get somewhere, you know you suck, you know that you believe that you're a born loser, you are taking snapshots, man. Like, you know, you see something on your phone, like, oh man, I'm gonna take a fucking snapshot of that, or I'm gonna have you do the little picture shit so you can save it on your phone. I do that in my mind. So when I get in these moments, I'm like, fucking, okay, wow, that's some fucking good knowledge right there, man. I snapshot it, because I know that I can use that later. I can use this, because I'm not out there most people, they go out and they run, and they go out and they do, and they're like, oh, this is beautiful, look at the fucking mountains and the shit and all this bullshit. No, I don't like it. My body hurts, I'm hurting. How do we get through this? And it's a lab. It's my mental lab. And so when I come home, I'm not forgetting it. And the second, like, every day I get done running, or every day I get through working, every day I get through studying, whatever it is that brings me to that place of knowledge, I come home and that book was mostly written on a scratch piece of paper in hand. So I come home from running and I write everything out. I write everything out, all those things. And as I'm running, I'm talking about it.
You know this better than me. Winners are all the same. We're all the same. We have to try everything. We have to do everything. We have to check everything. Has to be done our way. I tell staff, I tell people, I want it done my way. Why? Because it gives me peace if it's done my way. I say to my girlfriend, simple things. I see her packing or unpacking, and it's just messy. I'm like, what? Stop. No, this goes there. This goes there. This is the pile for this. This is the pile for this. And she's like, okay, I'll do it, but why does it matter? Because this is bothering me, the way it's even happening. It's so unorganized and messy. Do it military. This. Pack your bag, let's go.
How'd you become that guy?
You know what? I grew up not that guy.
Yeah.
So a lot of people put a title on me. They want to, they see me now. They see me now as the guy that with his shirt off, who can do 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours, who can run 205 miles in 39 hours, who can do all this crazy shit. But what they don't understand is they don't understand the journey that it took me to get to this point. And what got me to this point was I was just the opposite of what I am today. I was that guy who ran away from absolutely everything that got in front of me. But not many people knew that. I had two people. Like the real me was like this very scared, insecure, stuttering, got beat up by his dad, all this kind of stuff. And then I built this fake person that walked around like my shit didn't stink, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I did it.
Endless burden for performance. And it's so interesting to me because I've seen like psychiatrists and psychotherapists and all these other clowns, so I don't believe in psychiatry. I met a psychologist once. It was a hilarious story because I made him look stupid. But they say that if you put a burden of performance on a child, it's bad for them. But I had this massive burden of performance and it was fantastic for me. I loved it. I loved knowing that I am Emery Tate's son. I have to be as fantastic as my dad. He does things I don't think I can do, so I need to try and do something else. I can't be as smart as my dad. I don't have a photographic memory. I can't remember every number plate that's ever been behind me. I can't play chess at grandmaster level, so I'm gonna go fight. I have to do something. I have to be good at something. So I had this massive burden of performance, and the burden of performance naturally leads and gives way to what we've been talking about earlier about accountability, self-accountability, self-reflection, because that's what performance is. Performance in all things is actually only self-reflection. People think that practice makes perfect, and they're wrong. Practice does not make perfect. Self-reflection makes perfect. The reason that
Correcting yourself,
you have to identify your mistakes. If you don't identify your mistakes, you'll never get better, right? So a professional boxer will watch his fight back and see what he did wrong, see what he did right. If we do these podcasts, I'll watch it back and see all the time I stuttered, or all the times I didn't use a word I wanted to use, or all the times I could have been a little bit more funny, or I could have added in a misogynistic joke that I missed. I promise you I'll be richer. I promise. I don't care what game it is. I don't care how you change the rules. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna win. Because I wanna win. Some people don't wanna win. And the people who don't wanna win are not gonna win.
Yeah.
So when he sits and says, oh, we need to balance everything out, you cannot legislate everyone rich. You cannot make a loser have what a winner has, because winners are busy winning.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line of it.
Right.
So when he talks about all this restructuring and this garbage, it doesn't change anything. Because I would still outperform everyone. I would still have a Bugatti and a Koenigsegg and a jet and a yacht and 25 houses. So what does it mean? The truth is, you need to instill a culture inside of young people that, and he says, and people say this, not everyone wants to be a hustler. Not everyone wants to have to go out there and grind. Yeah, but some people do. The world's not a perfect place. What you need to do is tell young people they stand a chance instead of what he's doing, which is convincing they stand no chance. Tell them they stand a chance. Tell them to work as hard as possible and find a way to make it out. That's what I teach at university.com inside of my school. I say, listen, it's gonna be hard, but you can do it.
Right.
He says, no, you can't do it. I promise you I'll be richer. I promise. I don't care what game it is. I don't care how you change the rules. It doesn't matter, I'm gonna win. Because I wanna win. Some people don't wanna win. And the people who don't wanna win are not gonna win.
Yeah.
So when he sits and says, oh, we need to balance everything out, you cannot legislate everyone rich. You cannot make a loser have what a winner has, because winners are busy winning.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line of it.
Right.
So when he talks about all this restructuring and this garbage, it doesn't change anything. Because I would still outperform everyone. I would still have a Bugatti and a Koenigsegg and a jet and a yacht and 25 houses. So what does it mean? The truth is, you need to instill a culture inside of young people that, and he says, and people say this, not everyone wants to be a hustler. Not everyone wants to have to go out there and grind. Yeah, but some people do. The world's not a perfect place. What you need to do is tell young people they stand a chance instead of what he's doing, which is convincing they stand no chance. Tell them they stand a chance. Tell them to work as hard as possible and find a way to make it out. That's what I teach at university.com inside of my school. I say, listen, it's gonna be hard, but you can do it.
Right.
He says, no, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You're trying to learn things about yourself and about your potential from that.
That's exactly it.
And that's what people don't understand.
I study the darkness. You find no fucking answers in the light. None. It's too happy, it's too nice. And we don't need to be taught how to live in happiness. That just comes naturally to us. Happy moments, but the dark times, man, you can't get there unless you put yourself there. Life will take you there. But when you get into those dark moments, that's why people, how are you able, man, I couldn't fucking read and write till I was a junior in high school. How are you able to write like this, man? Motherfucker, I go to such places in my mind and I study the darkness. Like, it's not just physical. When I was growing up and I saw my mom getting beat and I got beat and I was some stuttering little black kid in an all-white school and I'm on stage and I gotta say one fucking line in front of fucking 15 people and I walk off stage because I was fucking stutter. All those insecurities and all those fucking things, man, I used to go home and fucking cry. I'm like, oh my God, man, I'm fucked up. I'm so fucked up. Hang on, man. As I got older, we gotta study this shit, man. The only way we're gonna fucking get through this is if we study it. So every time I'm in a dark moment and life's fucked up around me, whether it be physical or just life, I get in it, man, with a fucking pen and paper. I'm like, okay, this fucking sucks. I can feel like I'm fucking losing my shit. Let's fucking study this. Let's come out of this motherfucker a genius. You know, I studied the black matter of the mind, the dark matter. You know, like fucking Stephen Hawking. If that's fucking his name, I said it right.
I wouldn't say I love it. I think it's the masculine imperative to become as important as possible, isn't it? I mean, isn't that what built the whole world? We're all trying to become as important as possible and do the most amazing things we've ever done. And that's what built the planet. The female imperative is different. I think the female imperative is more inward looking. I want to be happy. It's all about me. The masculine imperative is I have to go and prove myself to the world. Women don't really think that way. That's why men build everything and women sit around and just ask for stuff. I mean, this is a cost of success. I'm not complaining in any regard. It's just the way it goes. The more influential you become and the more financially affluent you become and the more important you become, the more people are going to be trying to get some of your time, some of your energy, some of your money. This is the exchange. This dynamic exchange is how it works. So if I feel emotional pain about something, I understand that I am feeling emotional pain. It'll eventually pass, and I understand what it is, and I analyze it from a top-down view. And although I experience the pain, and although I feel the pain, I don't really absorb the pain. I don't know if that makes sense. If I let's apply it to something that everybody understands. Let's go back to heartbreak. If I have a woman and I love her with all my heart and we break up and I am heartbroken and I miss her, that's all true and that's all happening. But in real time, I'm observing it from above saying, Andrew, you missed this girl. One day you won't miss her anymore. So right now you miss her and it's fine. So I'm not really immersed in the pain because I'm observing the pain from an external. So if you're not immersed in it, is it ever really that strong? If you're very aware of what it is, if you're very conscious of what's going on, if you're depressed and you're immersed in the depression, you're depressed. But if you're depressed and you're like, cool, I'm depressed right now. This is interesting. Why am I depressed? Why do I feel shitty recently? Probably because of this and this. That'll be fixed soon. Yeah, anyway, on with the day. Then are you depressed? I don't think you are. I don't think when I feel emotions, both positive and negative, I observe them. I'm never in the stormy sea. I observe the storm. I'm never on the boat as it rocks in the stormy sea. I'm actually a drone above. I'm kind of close to it, and I see the ship rocking, and I see all the waves, and I'm watching it, but I'm up here. I'm not in it.